GM. Do I sound okay? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, people. Get your coffee. Let's get going. Welcome to the first panel today at the Solana Snapshot. Today, and hello everybody online. Today, real-world use cases on Solana, wallets, marketplaces, and workouts. Do you just want to dive right in? Let's do it. We'll start with quick intros, name, role, and the project you're with. Go ahead there, Richard.
My name is Richard. I'm one of the co-founders of Tensor. We also have a product called Vector. What was the last point?
Name, role, and the project you're building. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Tensor, one of the largest NFT marketplaces on Solana. Vector is social trading for crypto.
Awesome. My name is Andre Chabanoff. I'm the co-founder CEO of Ramp Me Daddy. We're a Telegram-based wallet designed specifically for newcomers to crypto. We offer a very familiar banking-like, investment app-like user experience and UI. All of our trades are based in USD, so we really go for the newcomers.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. I'm the Director of Growth at Moonwalk Fitness. Moonwalk is a fitness accountability app that combines daily step goals and financial incentives to help people form healthy habits, basically just move more to live better. And I guess that's basically it.
Hey everyone, my name is Ken. I'm one of the co-founders at Backpack. We're building a next generation wallet and exchange. We've also got an NFT collection, yeah, you might have seen us around Solana.
It's good, thank you. Nice to meet you all. And hello, everybody. My name's Simon. I'm lead at Super Team Canada. We're here to basically support and grow the Solana ecosystem in Canada, as well as connect everybody to the global Super Team network. Up next, let's jump right in to what's something specific about Solana, obviously speed or cost or tooling, that made it the right chain for you guys to choose for your project. Go ahead. Let's start with Caitlin.
Yeah, so all of the Moonwalk co-founders were very long-time Solana ecosystem participants, whether investors, founders, et cetera. For us and what we're trying to build with Moonwalk, we are going for the thing that everyone talks about all the time, which is the true consumer crypto app where Solana is simply an infrastructure choice and you're building useful, fun experiences that anyone can use without needing to know or caring to know that it's crypto, let alone what chain. And I think in terms of just high transaction volume, lots of users, lots of data, I think Solana, the obvious choice just in terms of speed and ease. We've seen so many different teams flocking to the Solana ecosystem or adding Solana support for that reason. And I think it's the place where we're going to see consumer crypto really, really thrive.
Ken, do you want to go next?
Sure. I think for us, there's obviously all of the infrastructure components, but maybe the thing that for me is top of mind is sort of the culture and the people. I think for me, I sort of went through that phase where Solana went, 97% down after the FTX collapse, and a lot of folks in the world thought it was dead. But I think it's driven by a group of people, a group of community members who have very strong culture, who are committed to just building something and helping it sort of grow and succeed. If you're wrong about something, we'll correct course and we'll do the right thing. We don't have any sort of strong overarching ideology. It's about getting to the solution, getting things right, and getting things done.
Yeah, for us, it's kind of a different story. So when we first started the NFT marketplace, we basically built where the users were. At the time, Solana basically picked up a lot of steam with NFTs because it offers something different to Ethereum mainnet, which was you didn't have to pay $50 in gas whenever you wanted to buy and sell NFTs. So we built something there initially on Solana, had a bunch of people use our platform. And now that we're building Vector, in theory, Vector is an entirely cross-chain. We actually built the app to be cross-chain compatible, but the predominant majority of our users are actually still trading on Solana. And that's basically because that's where all the interesting assets are being created. Particularly for us, meme coins are a big thing for Vector. And almost all the meme coin activity is happening on Solana. And I think that's in part due to the fact that it has a critical mass of both developers and users, which leads to the innovation that we're seeing around meme coins and speculative assets.
Yeah, so I believe that the strongly believe that the future is multi-chain. So there's a lot. We'll have to support all of the chain. Currently, we support Solana and Stellar, but very similar to Richard, the iteration, we opened the floodgates for meme coins, and the feedback loop that we've been able to get is just so fast. People are just, they complain so fast if the transaction doesn't go through, if the pricing is not right. So we're able to iterate very quickly on our product and make sure that we're staying ahead of the game. And we're also tapping into the Telegram users who are already in Telegram. So and those people they're on it. So we've been very lucky to be able to tap into the community that is very upfront and quick to give feedback. So I feel you there, Richard. Yeah.
It's great. So for the next one, we all know that most users have a pretty hard time with the UX in Web3. We've come a long way from the past 5 years, definitely. If people have been around since 2020, it was pretty rough back then. But I want to know what some of the biggest design decisions that you've made to help onboard users and to also help them stick around. I think with the recent launch of Vector, I think, Richard, you should jump into this one and talk about kind of the design decisions you made for the user experience.
Yeah, it's actually a very great question. I think for the longest time, maybe the previous generation of crypto apps, they've basically been built around this idea where you have this Chrome extension that you sort of carry around with you. That's where you store your assets. And that's great when sort of the technology for like embedded wallets and being able to like sign in with a Google login wasn't available at the time. A lot of things have changed since then. Like we're starting to see folks like Privy, folks like Coinbase MPC Wallet, folks like Turnkey, who are offering much more secure, non-custodial ways for you to bring your wallet around. And what this enables for us on Vector specifically, which is currently a native mobile app, is we can give them almost the Web 2 experience of logging in, creating a wallet. So maybe to walk you through the onboarding flow, you basically sign up with OAuth. So that could be Google, that could be Apple, that could be just an email. And we instantly provision you with a non-custodial wallet. There's no seed phrases. You don't have to like scramble to pull out a sheet of paper and write down your 24-word seed phrase and remember to keep it somewhere safe. You log in and your essentially Google OAuth will basically gate anyone from accessing your wallet. You can add additional security measures like 2FA, and you can even like self-custody the shards. So we use Privy. They have this concept of Shamir secret sharing. TLDR is it sort of does embedded wallets more safely. But overall the experience feels like it's still Web 2, which is great for new users who are completely new to this cycle. They've never used a crypto app before. They've never downloaded a Chrome extension wallet. They just want to trade the hottest coin that they've heard from their friend, and they don't want any amount of friction in between. So that's probably like the biggest thing that we leaned into. Of course, on-ramps, on and off-ramps. We use MoonPay under the hood. It's very simple. You can use Apple Pay. You can put in your credit card. You can even deposit from Venmo. And you can instantly get crypto deposited into your Vector account to start trading with.
Andre?
Yeah, I mean, Richard, absolutely love what you're building because it sounds like we're building very similar things. We are inside Telegram, so we cut out the Google Auth so that the way we look at it is there's 1 billion people in Telegram. We're giving them access to the wallet. We use Turnkey. Absolutely love their product so far. Made it very fast to ship. Also use MoonPay. It's very easy to on-ramp. One thing that we go for is that we give the people a familiar investment app type of like Acorns or maybe Wells Fargo brokerage, whatever investment app you use. That's the experience that we go after. So you have the USD balance, and from there we take care of all of the gas fees, of all of the basically transaction processing to make sure that the customer gets, if they want $10 worth of whatever meme coin, they get $10 of that asset. They don't have to worry about Solana or anything like that. So, and that's our target audience. It's not the people who are familiar with chains, how chains work. And so far, it's been very interesting experience as far as trying to get the users that are not crypto friendly, but create this whole new segment of people who want to use self-custodial wallets, but they who want to use crypto and they want to use self-custodial wallets instead of going to like Coinbase. But I think that is becoming more and more defined, and that audience is there, and I think we're building in the right direction.
Cool. Caitlin, go ahead. I use your app every day, so I have a lot of experience with your UX.
That's what we like to hear. And I'm going to repeat Richard on a lot of these things, which is a good sign because I love everything you've built, and I think we're kind of thinking along the same lines. For Moonwalk, I mean, we want this to be one of the first experiences, if not the first experience, that users have with crypto. I think a lot of consumers already have a strong opinion formed on whether they think crypto is good or not. Health, on the other hand, is a very universal experience. We all have one body, one mind. We're all wanting it, hopefully, to take care of it, and getting more steps in a day is something that we can all integrate into our day-to-day to live a little bit better. So it's a much less, I think, aggressive introduction to crypto in general. But then when you're thinking about the experience, onboarding is obviously the first experience a user has with your product, and it should be both familiar to them rather than feeling like a foreign concept, and very quick and seamless, so you can get them to what you want them to do, which is actually feeling and trying the product out for the first time. So for a lot of what we're doing with Moonwalk, we think of it through the viewpoint of a non-crypto user. First, for sign up, we do offer, you can sign up with your SPL wallet. I sign in with Phantom, for example. Solana ecosystem was our first kind of group of beta testers. And to your point earlier, they do an incredible job. We're so thankful for that. We got so much feedback in a short amount of time. But most consumers are used to signing in with phone number or email or Apple or Google. And so starting with that experience was a no-brainer. And then the embedded wallet experience as well. Just having that be kind of something that's there that they don't need to think about, rather than what we saw with, say, a step-in, which was you need an NFT to join and you need a crypto wallet, and that NFT informs how much you're able to earn of the in-app token. And it was just a very complicated experience. At the time, they ended up getting a ton of users, which I think speaks to the value prop of fitness-oriented products with the right rewards structures. But it ultimately became unsustainable for a variety of reasons. And I think the onboarding and what it required to even use the product deterred a lot of potential users. So that's been something we're refining a lot. And then also fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, which is something that we're doing R&D on right now, where the end goal is a user can onboard in a way that looks familiar, get into their first game either for free or buy game credits with USD, and not have to worry or care that the product is built on chain at all. And it's their first intro to crypto in a very seamless way.
Ken?
So I think a lot of the points have already been covered by Audrey, Caitlin, and Richard. For us at Backpack, when building our sort of wallet and exchange, one of the things we really just focus on is how do we create the least friction experience for users who just want to buy a meme coin or something to be able to get their money on, trade it right away, and be able to cash out. Maybe the one additional thing I'll add on top is that we've been spending a lot of time on. I think for me is important in this space is trust. There's just a lot of crazy stuff going on in the industry, a lot of pump and dump schemes, a lot of bad players, other sort of industry players that are sort of fleecing users. And so we started out from day one with a huge focus, I think, on compliance. And that's a huge, and using compliance to build trust. There's been enough, I think, shit shows that we've seen in this industry over the past few years, where I think there's a solid chunk of users who sort of, when they hear about crypto, obviously, there's all these trading and meme coins going on, but it's not something like they feel like they can actually trust and actually, commit themselves into, especially their money. And so we started off from day one, building, a compliant crypto exchange, getting licenses around the world. And what that allows us to unlock from a product and user UX perspective is, one, there's obviously a fiat on and off ramps, but it also allows us to do a lot of things that other players might not so easily be able to do. So regulated stocks, bonds, tokenized real estate, all of these sort of real world assets allows us to custody things on behalf of users. There's going to be a bit more friction because we have to do KYC and compliance as part of this whole process, but it allows us to actually have, in our view, some of the best fiat the RAMs that we have in the industry right now, be able to do a lot of novel, interesting products, and sort of bring the traditional, combine the Web 2 and Web 3 world together using what they've built Backpack as a bridge for the two worlds.
Each of your products takes a different approach to consumer engagement, from gamification to mobile UX, extensions, Telegram integrations. What's working and what still needs improvement? You may have touched on it previously in the previous question, so rapid fire if you kind of want to run through this one.
Sure. Biggest thing with Vector right now is the social aspect. Social is notorious, not notorious, but it's quite well known that there are certain loops that you can build into the product where, for example, you do something on the app that triggers 7 other people to check the app and also do something. Hopefully one of them performs some action based off of your activity, and this sort of propagates this wave of activity. So that's what we've seen is quite compelling. We have pretty high retention because of that. That being said, I think there's a lot of work we can do on the social side to really juice that and make it as compelling as some of the Web 2 social apps that we all use.
Andre?
Yeah, so being a part of Telegram, we have been able to tap into and make partnerships with some of the solid games inside Telegram, and so we were able to tap into a network of about 50 million users that are inside of Telegram playing various games, and these partnerships have been able to drive a lot of traffic to our platform. So I think that's kind of a hack that we used being inside Telegram. That's been very helpful. We also rolled out our own game. I think we give out people points that they'll be able to take advantage and redeem for other things. But overall, partnerships I think is the key for driving success here.
Caitlin?
So going on what Richard said again, but the social component of something fitness related is so important. And I think even knowing that going in from, doing different fitness classes, run clubs in the past, I still underestimated the power of community. And people crave in-person interactions, and we found that more and more. So we have a global ambassador program, which we're working on building out. So if any of you are interested, let me know. But what we've done with that program so far is just finding people who, love the product, want to evangelize it, want to spread the word and onboard people in their local communities who are really passionate about it. But something that we've also gotten their help with is hosting in-person events. And that could be something as simple as going for a hike and dropping the name, like the location, date, and time in our community chat, and we've had hundreds of people show up for these hikes. We have videos over the past months of 150 people in Ghana or Nigeria or Turkey, which we did a city walking tour a couple weeks back when I was there. People crave it, and I think that curating these really unique and memorable experiences that allow people to actually connect in person. We always connect online, and I think that we, tend to forget the why of that. It feels good to find others with mutual interests where you're kind of all going down the same path, and bringing that in person and allowing those more local communities to form is something we're thinking about a lot. And also kind of heading into the bigger product feature that we're going to be adding next, which is more around socials and community and groups and events. So just allowing those groups to better congregate in the app, giving them reasons to come back and check it more often, having that back and forth rather than it being more of a one-way transaction of joining a game and just checking your steps. So I think the stickiness, that community, and allowing people to come together over some sort of common interest, it has a really strong effect that I think we maybe underestimated.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Caitlin said. In 2023, we launched an NFT collection, MATLADS, and the sort of the cultural component is so important to having a community who really believes you, who doesn't just buy what you're selling to them, but why you are actually doing what you're doing to them, with them, and having that community. They've really become our evangelists, whether it be rolling out new features on our wallet, whether it's on the exchange. They've really been our sort of ambassadors throughout the world, who really loves our product, who uses our product, who gives us feedback, and I think that's a really important part of how we iterate with our users. Maybe the other thing that I'll mention is just, this is going to sound super boring, but just building a really solid product. There's a lot of shortcuts I think you can take as builders in the industry, that allows you to go to market, very quickly sometimes, especially for me, on the compliance front, there's always, 10 different things of doing something, and there's easier and faster ways and some are slower. And for us, we've always gone for the slow but steady path of building things. And, we don't get to see, huge hockey sticks, day in, day out. But what we see is real users who actually love certain parts of the platform and who stick around because you've got one feature that they really like. It takes a long time to sort of build that up, but I think for us, having that organic growth and users who really love our product step by step is what we love.
Many users still don't know or care or want to care if your app involves Web3. So I kind of want to ask Caitlin in particular, because I feel like you're the bit of the standout with Backpack and Tensor and RentMe. What does Web3 unlock in your app that you couldn't do if it was just a Web2 app?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is on the back end, just in terms of rewards distribution and kind of global coordination of all of these different participants in games. As you know, because you use the product, like if you join a game, the game ends and begins based on your local time zone. The rewards are auto-distributed to, and basically, I guess we could back up a little bit, but the way that the game works right now is there's a variety of games you can join at any time when you download our app in the App Store or Google Play. There is a daily step goal for each game, and there's an entry deposit for each game. Effectively, you stake your money at the beginning of the game. If you hit the step goal every single day throughout the contest, you get all of the money you put up at the beginning back, and the opportunity to split a prize pool. That prize pool is made up of partial deposits from other people in the game who don't hit their goal. So gamified accountability, like I was mentioning before, that's all done with smart contracts. And I think that we have hundreds of games operating at any given time, and automating the rewards distribution of that and being able to have that done seamlessly and efficiently. And obviously, again, I'm like from the cost perspective as well, but being able to have that done via smart contract rather than manually in a variety of ways for the different things that have to be done to have the money move hands has been super valuable. I'm not technical, so I probably explained that poorly. But a lot of it's more the back-end infrastructure choices that we've made that help with potential headaches we would have as we grow, with being able to, what we could handle manually and what we couldn't. And when it comes to customer deposits in any sort of way, you want to be really efficient in making sure people can get their money. So I think building on Solana has helped with that in a really big way.
Any quick comment from anybody else?
I can go here. So I keep emphasizing that we have the investment app type of experience, and we came from the founders of Rent Me Daddy came from a company called I Trust Capital. We were able to build the biggest crypto IRA, which is a retirement account in the United States. And the reason that I think we're able to achieve that is because we gave a very Fidelity-like feel for that platform, and we're kind of carrying that thought process and user experience to this new self-custodial wallet where people are able to just think in USD. They don't have to think in Solana, and they're able to just click buy $10 or whatever asset they want. And I think because of that, we're able to capture this new audience, as I mentioned before. And so I strongly believe that give it 5 to 7 years, and people are not going to care if it's Web3 or Web2. And the piping is going to be Web3 mainly for anything finance related, at least.
Quick comment from Richard?
Yeah, maybe more broadly, I think the thesis that we're going after with both Vector, the trading app, as well as Tensor, which was the NFT marketplace, is that we strongly believe that there are just like an infinite number of interesting applications and use cases that comes with permissionless user assets. I think we're starting to see that happen with the more speculative stuff, particularly meme coins and I guess NFTs last cycle, which we were both part of. But I think like this is just like the tip of the iceberg. I think there's so many more interesting things that we can do. For example, I don't know if people here have heard of Zora. They used to be like an NFT marketplace. They pivoted to being this Instagram on a blockchain. And every time someone posts an image, it actually creates this token associated with it. In theory, if you're a trader, you could speculate on that piece of art and on the token. But for the most part, it's an interesting experiment to see what new monetization models are possible for creators. I think you can basically extend this to every single vertical out there. For us, we want to basically provide the trading rails, the financial rails, and a social layer on top of this basically infinite stream of permissionless assets. But yeah, I don't think most people, even most people in crypto who are deep, understand just how powerful it is to be able to create any asset and have value associated with it and let people sort of trade it back and forth permissionlessly.
You can take this one, or I can move on to the next question. Okay. For those of you on stage that have both a mobile app and a desktop app, I'm pretty curious about this. What have you seen to be the differing usages between the two from your consumers? And what's some of the trade-offs when you're designing your product for mobile first or desktop first? Maybe go ahead there, Ken.
Yeah, I think for us, as an exchange and a wallet, it's pretty clear that retail users mostly use the mobile app. And so it's one of the most important things when we roll out products to make sure that our features are rolled out on mobile as well, and that retail users can just swipe to buy and sell. Institutional, sophisticated users, web app, API, I think that's pretty straightforward. I think if you want to go after 1 billion users, mobile is definitely the way to go. There's so many countries around the world where everyone has a cell phone, but very few people actually have a desktop or a computer that they sign up for. So for us, in a lot of the jurisdictions that we're targeting, we go mobile first. We actually prioritize optimizing our product for the mobile app.
Richard?
Yeah, so we have an interesting story. Our NFT marketplace, our first product, was entirely desktop. We didn't even bother building a native app. One, because Apple and Google, until recently, they enforced a 30% tax on any digital goods, including NFTs, which are kind of like digital goods. And so we couldn't actually enable NFT trading without a 30% tax going to these guys for the longest time. Obviously, that has changed recently with the Epic versus Apple case. That being said, for our second product, Vector, we intentionally made the decision to go mobile first. And it's like Ken said, if you want to reach 1 billion users, you have to be on mobile eventually. We saw this opportunity where we believe that because we are self-custodial, because we are not offering NFT trading in Vector, it's just tokens, it very much looks like a wallet. And so we basically made the bet that we could get this through the App Store review process. Ultimately, we did. And so we were able to build a pretty good foothold for a mobile native social trading app. That being said, I think what we're observing is that on desktop, a lot of the folks who are trading meme coins full time, they are almost always on desktop. If you think about it, trading is almost like playing a video game, where if you guys play FPSs or MOBA, it's nearly impossible to do it on mobile. You have to use a desktop. You have to have multiple screens up. You have to have the ability to use a mouse and keyboard shortcuts. And so what we're observing is that a lot of the folks who do a lot of volume when it comes to meme coins are on desktop. And actually pulling out your mobile phone is a pretty big friction point. That being said, we think that long term, if you want to reach 1 billion users, mobile is the way to go. But for the pros, you have to be on desktop.
If you were on the last one, so if you had one sentence to pitch your product, what would you say? Go ahead, Andre.
Rent Me Daddy is a Telegram wallet that allows you to buy and sell crypto just like you would in any regular investment app.
Caitlin?
Moving more daily is one of the most impactful things you can do for physical and mental health, and Moonwalk allows you to put money on the line to make sure that you actually hold yourself to it.
Ken?
Not good at one-liners, but maybe I'll just say that I think we believe that if we build the right product, mass user adoption will come faster than most of us think.
Tensor?
So I'm going to talk about Vector, our second product. It's the funnest multiplayer experience when it comes to trading in crypto.
We have 20 seconds left. What is your spicy hot take on any Solana consumer dApp from this week? Anybody want to take this one? We got 13 seconds.
I have a big picture hot take, and by 2030, all of the U.S. stock market is going to be on chain.
Any other spicy takes?
I think there will be more volume on chain than in the, I guess, traditional stock equity markets in 5 to 10 years.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Let's give these people a round of applause.